My name's Sarah. I'm 31, and I trusted two people more than anyone else in my life, my husband and my best friend. I never thought I would have to question either of them, but looking back, it was nothing. That's what I told myself. Just a normal moment, but something about it stayed with me. I didn't understand it then. I do now because that was the RST time. Something felt wrong. Not obvious, not clear, just wrong. And the worst part? I ignored it. Because when you trust people like that, you don't look for problems. You explain them away. You protect them. Even when you shouldn't. If I had listened to that feeling, maybe things would be de-errant, but I didn't. And that's how it started, not with betrayal, not with lies, just one moment. That didn't fee. Everything's stable. He was the kind of man people trusted icily. Calm, predictable, always said the right thing. And maybe that's why I never questioned him. Not once. Not seriously. And Maya, she was in my life even longer. We met in college. Stayed close through everything. She knew things about me. No one else did. The kind of things you don't repeat. The kind of things you trust someone to keep. And she did. At least, I thought she did. She came over a lot. More than most friends. Sometimes when I wasn't even home yet. Daniel would let her in. Hope you don't mind, he'd say. I never did. Why would I? They were both my people. But now, when I think about it, there were moments. Small ones. Easy to miss. Like how comfortable they were around each other. Too comfortable. Like they didn't need me there to talk. Or the way conversations would stop right when I walked in, just for a second. Then everything would go back to normal. I noticed it. Of course I did. But I told myself, you're overthinking. We're just close. They're just being nice. Because the other option, it didn't make sense. Not yet. But that feeling, that quiet discomfort, it didn't go away. It just waited. The RST time I really paused was because of something small. So small it almost sounds stupid now. Maiawa. But the second he saw her, something changed. Not big, just immediate, like his mood shy-owed. Too quickly. Hey, he said. But he wasn't looking at me. Not RST. He was looking at her. And she smiled back. Not surprised. Not casual. Just familiar. Like they already knew how that moment would go. I felt it. Right there. A small pause inside me. You're late, I said. Just to break it. Yeah, work, he replied. But his eyes stayed on her a second longer than they should have. Maya stood up suddenly. I should go, she said. Too fast, I frowned. You just got here. Yeah, I have something early, she said. She grabbed her bag. Didn't really look at me. But Daniel? He stepped slightly closer. I'll walk you out, he said. That wasn't new. But something about it felt de-errant. I don't know why. I followed them to the door, just out of habit. They stood there for a second. Too quiet. Like something was said, without words. Then he said, text me when you get home. My chest tightened, because that wasn't normal. That was something he said to me. Only me. Maya paused, just for a second, then nodded. Yeah, I will. She leaks. The door closed, and I stood there, trying to convince myself that I didn't just see what I think I saw, because if I did, then something had already started, and I wasn't part of it. After that, if I walked in, he'd tilt the screen slightly, not hiding, just adjustings, like it was automatic. And Maya, she changed too, not in a big way, in small gaps. She texted me less. But somehow, she knew more. Did you guys order food last night? She asked once. I froze. Yeah, how did you know? A pause. Then she laughed. Just guessed. But it didn't feel like a guess. Another time, I told her something about Daniel. A random detail. She smiled and said, "Yeah, I know." Then she stopped. Too late. "You told me before," she added quickly. But I didn't remember telling her. Not that, not like that. And then there were moments, the worst ones, when all three of us were together, and I felt it, that strange feeling of being slightly outside. Like a converser, Taeyeon had already happened before I arrived. I started testing it, saying things on purpose, watching their reach, Taeyeon's, and every time there was a delay, a look, a silence. 2. Ooh, that's the part one remember the most. Nothing felt de-errant. Nothing warned me. I leak work early. No reason. Just felt tired. I didn't call Daniel. Didn't text. I just went home. When I opened the door, I knew. Not what, but something. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Then I heard it. A voice. Low. Familiar. From the kitchen. I stopped. Didn't move. Didn't breathe properly. Daniel and Maya. Talking. So careful. Like they didn't want to be heard. I took a step closer. Slow. Then I heard it. She doesn't know. Silence. Then we just have to be careful. My heart dropped. I stood there. Right outside. Close enough to walk in. Close enough to end it. But I didn't. Because in that moment, I realized something. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't new. This was something already happening, something I missed, something I wasn't supposed to hear. I stepped back, quietly, opened the door again, and leak. Because once you hear the truth like that, you don't confront it, not immediately, first. You understand it. And I wasn't there yet, but I would be, very soon. That night, I didn't say anything. I watched. I listened. I waited. Daniel came home like always. Same voice, same routine. "How's your day?" I looked at him, tried to see something de-errant. Like nothing was wrong. I turned my head slightly. His phone was on the table, right next to me, unlocked. Like he had nothing to hide. I stared at it. For a long time. My heart was beating louder now, because this was it. No more guessing. No more paw ferns. Just truth. I reached for it. Stopped. Pulled my hand back. Then again. Slow. This time I didn't stop. I picked it up. Opened his messages. And I didn't scroll, because I didn't need to. Her name was already there. At the top. Maya. Pinned. Like Shima Jared. More. My chest tightened. I opened the chat. First message I saw. "You leaked too quickly today." I froze. Then, "We have to be more careful." My angers went cold. And then, "I miss you already." That was enough. Not suspicion, not doubt. Proof. Clear. Simple. Final. I put the phone back. Exactly where it was. Carefully. Like I was placing something fragile. But it wasn't fragile. It was broken. And now, so was everything else. But I didn't cry. Not yet. Because the next morning, I was already awake when he opened his eyes. "Morning," he said. Like always, I didn't respond. I just looked at him. That made him pause. "What?" he asked. I sat up. Calm. Too calm. "How long?" I spoke. He frowned. "What are you talking about?" I didn't look away. "You and Maya." Silence. There it was. That moment, where everything stops pretending. His face changed. "Just slightly, but enough." "I don't know what you mean," he said. I nodded slowly. "Okay," I said. Then I reached over, picked up his phone, opened it, placed it in front of him. "I do." He didn't touch it, didn't look at it. That told me everything. "How long?" I asked again. My voice was quieter now, but sharper. He exhaled, ran his hand over his face. "It's not what you think," he said. I let out a small breath. It never is. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Then Nally. "A few months," he said. That was it. No drama. No big explantation. Just time. Months. While I was there, While I trusted both of them, I nodded, like I expected it, like it didn't hurt. But it did. Why her? I asked. That was the only thing I needed to know. He hesitated, then said, "It just happened." I shook my head. "No." I leaned forward slightly. "You chose it." Silence again. He didn't argue, didn't defend himself, and somehow that was worse. Because now Does she know everything? I asked. He frowned. "What do you mean?" I looked at him. About me. Silence. That was enough. My chest tightened. "What did you tell her?" I asked. He didn't answer. Not right away. And in that pause, I understood. "You told her things, didn't you?" I spoke. My thoughts. My problems. My life. He looked down. "We talked," he said. That word again. Talked. Like it was nothing about us? I asked. He nodded. That hurt more than anything else. Not the messages. Not even the betrayal. But this. That the parts of me I trusted him with. He gave to her. Slowly. Over time. That's how it started. Not with cheap things, but with sharing. With replacing. "She knew me," I said quietly. Before I knew anything. He didn't respond. Because there was nothing to say. I took a step back. Then another. "Get out," I said. My voice didn't shake this time. It was steady. Clear. Final. "And don't come back." He looked at me. Like he wanted to say something, but didn't. Then the door closed. And just like that, everything became still. I stood there alone, and one thought stayed in my mind. They didn't just betray me. They replaced me, piece by piece. Later that night, my phone buzzed. I looked at the screen. Maya. I didn't open the message. Not immediately. I just stared at her name, thinking about everything she knew, everything she didn't. And for the RST time, I wasn't sure what would hurt more, hearing the truth, or Nally understanding it. If you've ever been in a situation like this, tell me in the comments. What would you do? Would you reply or walk away? And if this story kept you till the end, don't forget to like and subscribe, because sometimes the hardest stories to tell are the real ones.